Hotel Black Power, brothers and sisters, as always, giving honor to the creator, the ancestors, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my sister, my father, my in-laws, and all of our ancestors, my followers, subscribers, viewers, and those who are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation. Just a quick briefing. I'm gonna follow up on this shooting that took place where 11 people, so-called white Jews, were murdered, along with 4 policemen shot. And this cracker was taken into custody. My thing with this is, when Michael Johnson shot 4 police, he was blown to smithereens by fucking pigs. But see, these crackers are taken into custody. And now they're talking about he may be charged with hate crimes and he may be looking at the death penalty. Knowing Pennsylvania has the death penalty for 1 murder. Look at Mumia Abu-Jamal, who's sitting on death row, who's been on death row forever. And yet you have this motherfucking cracker that has murdered 11 motherfuckers and shot 4 police. And he's not on the row. This motherfucker, he's just being questioned and interrogated. Because they want to make a book. They want a book deal out of this shit. They want the movie rights. See, this is how this shit go when it happens in the motherfucking white neighborhoods. In the white community, this the type of motherfucking shit that goes on. Let me repeat this. Mumia Abu-Jamal been on fucking death row forever. Falsely accused of 1 motherfucking murder of a pig. But yet this motherfucking cracker shot 4 pigs, murdered 11 so-called white imposter Jews in a synagogue, and he's not even on death row. Plus he was taken into custody. He wasn't wounded or anything. And see, this is the hypocrisy of the system of racism, white supremacy. Now, what you're going to get now is a whole bunch of niggas taking up and being spokespersons for these white so-called Jews. Watch my word. You're gonna have niggas. You're gonna be able to hear the motherfucking shoes buck dancing. You'll be able to smell the shoe polish from these boot-licking motherfucking niggas who are going to go on national TV and talk about how much of a tragedy and how sad this shit is. One of the saddest moments in history in the country and all this bullshit. But how many black people were murdered this weekend? How many of them were broadcast? How many of them do we look at? And see, this is the shit that I try to get you house niggas to see. But you're so busy sucking that white man's nuts, biting his motherfucking balls, that you don't even care to see what has happened in your own motherfucking community. Because this is what big wenches and house niggas do. This is what they do. That's part of their behavior. This is how they are rewarded. This is how the false respect is given to them. Did you go in the break room and see Jamal? He's bawling in tears. About what, dude? About the fucking incident at the synagogue, man. Jamal was, man, he's fucking Man, he's fucking crying his eyes out, man. Did he know any of these people? No. You know, he just said because they were white. You know, we're the purest people. We're the original Jews, man. He's just bawling because, that's just the slave in him. Jamal's he's our best house dude. He's our best house Negro. And see, a lot of this, you might laugh. I don't give a fuck about that, because humor is what we need anyway. That's the main thing that we need is humor. Because once again, we are people of rhythm and soul. Even in our most wretched and our most fucked up times, we still have to have a balance for that. But however, this is how a lot of these motherfucking niggas think. This is how a lot of them think. Because they want to be rewarded. They want to be looked at, as a hero to the white community, but do nothing to the black community. You're nothing in the black community. And you know it. At the end of the day, when you at home sleep, you know you have buck dance. You know you have. And so, after you get through that period, then you go through the period of accepting. Then after that, you don't care who knows that you are a coon. But that's usually how the process goes. I've watched brothers and sisters over the years have that same approach. And then they'll try, in the workplace. They sit up there and bite balls all day long. Come home, take it out on the sister. You was a cowed motherfucker at work. And you acted just like a slave. You took it back 140 years with your behavior. And so, you're so frustrated and angry within yourself when you're let off the plantation. The first person that you take it out on is your significant other, or your children, or your children. So, we gotta be crystal clear about the situations that are going on. Michael Johnson, shot 5 police. He was, like I said, he was annihilated. Right on the spot. But what do we do? Because see, what they want you to do is focus on these shootings. And so they figure when the niggas knowing that they next, but if these niggas unite with us, these motherfuckers don't stand a chance. And I'm talking about these so-called liberal motherfucking whites. Because there's nothing liberal about you. Nothing. And that goes as far as to talk about this dyke, Muriel Bowser, who's the mayor of DC, just adopted a child, but don't want to come out the closet. And it's evident, and so, brothers and sisters, we have a lot of work to do. A lot of work. We keep continuing to fall for anything. Anything. We refuse to stand up. We are so terrified of this cracker. Terrified of this motherfucker. And see, the thing, you gotta realize they're terrified of you. That's why when they do something, they either have a weapon on them or it's more than one of them. Rarely do you see a one-on-one battle with a straight G off the street with a motherfucking pig. Because he knows he's going to get his ass tore off. No matter how much training you got. The training that's in the black communities is innate with us. Y'all have to work at the gym. You got to lift up buildings and all this shit. You know, shrink your testicles up. Which lead to you ultimately being a motherfucking punk. You know, and so even though the white man is homosexual by nature, just in his nature. That's why they act the way they do. So faggoty. And so, you know, we got to be clear about a lot of shit, brothers and sisters. A lot of shit. You know, and stop compromising. The compromising has to stop. The bootlicking, the buck dancing, the bojangling, that shit has to end. And we have to start calling these motherfuckers out. Call them out. You know, they watch social media in the private when they are all alone. Because these motherfucking coons want to actually see, do we know what they're doing in terms of betrayal, in terms of selling us out on a daily and consistent basis. In which we do know, those who do research, those who study, you know, extensively, those who are committed to struggle. And I'll tell you just a couple of things about myself. For those who know me, either through social media or personally, you all know that I've been a freedom fighter for quite some time now. And I want to see my people liberated. Not just a few of you. Not just a couple of you. You know, not just in a class action lawsuit from Denny's or no shit like that. Because that's the reason Johnnie Cochran was murdered. Instant cancer, add water and stir. That's what happened to Johnnie Cochran, because Johnnie Cochran had already had the paperwork, all the paperwork filed. He was scheduled to go to the UN, United Nations, and charge the United States with slavery, which is related to war crimes, and demand reparation. That's why Johnnie Cochran was murdered. What I want to do right now, briefly, I didn't mean to stop and cut off my train of thought where I was at, but I do want to throw this out there to my my loyal, committed subscribers and viewers. You know, Bernice Nelson, you know, Gladys Holcutt, Brian Simpson, William Ivory, King Gahee, Anytime Nigga, Duck Burgess, Jay Tillman, you know, Brother Khalil, who was one of our street law soldiers, he and his queen. You know, my queen is she's my biggest fan, but I am my biggest critic. I'm always looking for ways to better myself, to improve. To improve the quality of everything. Because I want the atmosphere to be just like, you know, we're sitting in a circle, just building among each other. You know, and at times me teaching those who love to be taught, that don't know a lot about our history, teaching them about the past. Because history is only who you were before you became who you are today. because we're the same people that were here yesterday. We are our ancestors. And so, and teaching history to my subscribers, my viewers, but like I said, sometimes we have to have a balance for things. To sit down and just talk, sit down and just build. Sometimes a little music is good for the soul, good for the energy. And because we are in some serious times, brothers and sisters. Very fucking serious. Very fucking serious. We getting closer and closer to a fucking civil war that's going to be taken to the fucking streets. And then a lot of you think that we cannot win. And this is self-defeat. You're defeating yourself by saying you cannot win. How is it that you come to that conclusion when you are the original people, in which the black man and woman gave everybody permission to exist and gave them life? Because it didn't have to be like this. It did not have to be like this. And if it was a thing where the creator said, well, okay, I'm just going to let the people that were here first, the original people of the planet, let them have complete rulership and let it only be them. It will only be us on this planet. However, the cracker is our natural foe. He's a natural enemy to mankind. This snow dog, cave monkey is a natural enemy to mankind. Let that marinate for a second. Now let's talk about some of the things that we need to have in place. We always have to have an economic base. We have to have a military. The black community does have a strong military, which is the black youth. These gangbangers. We have to find a way to unite all those brothers and sisters that's representing the devil, that's representing the demonic energy, that's living and dying and killing and dying, trying to represent government housing. Government housing. So once we start putting our change, even if you take $2 a day and we put it in an escrow, that's probably $800 million off the break. That's a treatment center. That's a shelter in 3 different cities. And then after a year or 2 goes by, we will be able to have a shelter, treatment facility in every hood. So there will not be a question or a situation with somebody that's a substance abuser, that's using narcotics, that's using alcohol. Take that money, take the proceeds from that, and then you begin to build houses, which means jobs. Jobs, which means we have to have people training our young men how to be good carpenters, electricians helpers. then we need to get our law enforcement. A police force that is non-compromising, but is not out to get us. That's on our side. That's actually on our side. And so those are some of the things. Those are some of the things. Getting a building where our babies can stay instead of foster care and CFS where they're being abused, even by some staff. You know, so these babies can have a chance, they can live. You know, if you have any questions or comments, you know, as always, feel free to put something in the comment box. Along with your love offerings and donations. You know, that will be greatly appreciated to show your love. To show how important this channel is to you. So, until we meet again, brothers and sisters, Hotep, Black Power.